Carbon fiber rims have also become pretty popular. They tend to be rather expensive, but the aerodynamic benefits of them is undeniable. This chapter will give you a little bit of an introduction into carbon rims. This is a video that I made in 2012. It goes very deeply into a lot of aspects about cycling and pertaining to carbon rims, into some fairly technical topics concerning aerodynamics and related things. I'm not going to go into all of that now, but let me just show you what some of the topics are in this video here in case you are interested in looking them up. In that video, I look at lots of different zip rims that have varying depths. Then we look at the results of some data compiled in a wind tunnel when Fabian Cancellara wrote a series of testing protocols, and you can see by looking at the data there that even as the rim sections get deeper and heavier, the time to complete the time trial decreases because of the increased aerodynamic benefit of the deeper section rim. I spent some time discussing computational fluid dynamics, what it's all about. Wheel stability in terms of aerodynamics and yaw angle. Yaw angle is an aviation term, but it also applies to bicycles. I try to explain that pretty well and explain the significance of yaw angle as it applies to bicycles in aerodynamic situations. And I discuss what happens with yaw angle as the speed of the bicycle increases. And I show you some interesting computer diagrams of circulating air patterns on rotating wheels and how that affects aerodynamics. I think the chances are that you'll find some topics in this video pretty interesting, so pick it up on Amazon if you're motivated to do so. As far as wheel building topics, let's just look briefly at four subtopics. One is name brands versus knockoffs, spoke tension, tubulars and internal nipples, and cautions when rebuilding with carbon rims. Here's a caveat emptor to beware of lookalikes. These are carbon fiber rims by Will Cheatham. You find them on the internet. They're cheap. They look good, but what are you really getting? When you get rims by Zip, Bontrager, NB, Reynolds, Easton, and so on, you have behind those rims skilled scientists and engineers. I know many of them. They have very high standards, and there's extensive testing done on their rims so you can be sure that you're getting a quality product. I think it comes down to this. If you want to buy some carbon rims and they look nice to you and the price is good, there's no label on them or anything like that, you need to do some due diligence to make sure that you're satisfied that the structure and the strength and all that of the rim is appropriate. You don't want to just be buying so-called pig in a poke without knowing what you're getting or anything about the manufacturing process. You certainly need to know the manufacturer's recommendation when it comes to maximum tension that you can put on the rim, because it can vary quite a bit, and you don't want to exceed the strength of the rim by putting too much tension on the spokes. When it comes to spoke tension, you want to check the tension specifications of the manufacturer. It's critical to know those limits because there are a lot of variations in them. For example, Zip has a recommended maximum tension of 100 kgf, kilograms of force, whereas NB can go up to 140, so there's a big difference. I've really come to like NB rims quite a lot. They're really high quality carbon fiber rims. These shown here are 45 millimeter rims, and this is a 440 gram clincher, 295 gram tubular, and very sturdy rim. These built up to a weight of about 1,100 grams, which is amazing. S tubulars with DT Swiss 190 hubs, Sapim C-X-ray spokes, and internal aluminum nipples. When you're dealing with tubulars and internal nipples, then the question might come into mind, how do I true the wheel? Do I have to take the tire off? Yes, you do. You have to take the tire off. However, I think the chances of having to do that are very slim. I have built quite a few tubulars and with carbon tubulars, and I've not had that issue come up at all. This next topic is intended to help you avoid a possible disaster. This is a ZIP 404 toroidal rim, and so far as I know, the newer Firecrest rims are made in the same way. This is the inside of the rim viewed in cross-section, and what you're seeing here is plastic that's left over from the rim forming process. So you have some nice zip wheel and you want to take it apart and rebuild it for some reason, maybe different spokes, maybe you want to put it in a power tap hub. For whatever reason, you're going to take the wheel apart and then reassemble it. As you're loosening the nipples, you want to take great precaution to make sure none of them fall inside the rim and get stuck inside that plastic, or they may never come out. This is what I do. I only screw off the nipple part way, just loosen it up and not let it come off totally. Using this little handmade tool, I insert this into the back of the rim and screw the spoke with the red nipple into the back of the nipple I'm trying to extract. Then you alternatively loosen the nipple like this and screw the tool into the back of the nipple like this. The result is that the nipple is very carefully transferred to a tool that can extract it from the rim without the risk of it falling off inside.